All right, so the first thing that I want you to remember is that you do not need a pro account to do anything that we are going to do in this course. And I have had a Canva pro account in the past when I used it more frequently for all of those things, such as your branding. That's one of the main things that is different about having a pro account versus a free account. So I'll go into the differences real fast. The main differences that I see are, so there's this brand kit right here, and I'll show you that when we open a design, how that will show up on the side. So this is saved from when I used to have a pro account. Now, if I'm in a design, because I don't have this paid account anymore, I can't actually access it. I can only see it, so it's like a little tease, but you're able to like upload your brand logos, have your brand colors in here, brand fonts. All of this has changed for me, so I just see it and think, it's fine. But so that's one of the main things. The other one of the other main things is when I go to my designs here, so these are the things that I've created, and you're able to organize your images and even put them in folders if you have a pro account. I've never actually done that. I have a horrible organization system, even on my computer, because I work so quickly. So I actually just scroll and find what I need. But if you're super organized, then you might think about that as far as the benefits and having a pro account. The other part of it is, okay, so I'll just create a design just in general. I'll just say social media. The other part of it is you can upload your own fonts. I'm just going to say text here so you can see. All right, so I have a text box, and I'll go over this, don't worry. But just real quick, you'll see all these crowns. You'll see this in Elements, and you'll see it in fonts. You'll see it across the platform, and this means that they're not accessible without having a pro account. That being said, though, there are so many fonts available for free that work amazingly, and I'm going to show you all of my favorites that are free and combinations that you can use that look awesome without needing any of that. But the other part of it, you see brand fonts right here and uploaded fonts right here. These are just the 3 fonts I uploaded at one point, and then these were the brand fonts that I had set. So they're grayed out because I can't use them when I don't have that account, the pro account, but you have that option, which is really nice to have, but totally, again, just not necessary. The other part about... okay, so the other part about this, let's say you have this awesome template. I'm just going to pull one up so that you can see it. Okay, so let's say I have this, and then I want to turn it into, like it's square right now, I wanted to turn it into like a Pinterest setting, so it's more like a 2-to-3 ratio, or let's say I want to turn it into a banner for email or a Facebook post. Up here where it says resize, you see that crown, that means you have to have a pro account. But the nice thing is when you say resize, it'll just have this pop-up here where it lets you choose what you want to resize it to. I'll show you an example of when I used that under my own designs. So let's see. Where is it? Well, I did it for, I guess I deleted some, but you can see right here I have my monoline sale, and what I ended up doing was creating several different canvas sizes for that, which was really convenient. So that's just, those are the pro features that I've noticed the difference. So those are primarily the only things that I stand out to me that I think would be noteworthy. But otherwise, free account, and I only use the free account now, so we're going to go over everything that entails. To get you started, I just want to look at this overview, and you'll see that on the top left, you have the option to just create a design. This is creating it from scratch, and then you have these options here that give you canvas sizes that are ready to go. So like social media, and then that's the square, there's worksheets, Facebook covers, Instagram stories, and it has that predetermined for you, which is nice. You can also search, like let's say I wanted to do Pinterest. Pinterest pen, then it has 1,000 by 1,500 pixels, and that's that 2:3 ratio that is ideal for Pinterest. So that's nice, but you can also do custom dimensions if you know exactly what the pixel width and height is, but you can do it in inches, millimeters, centimeters. So basically you have full reign on making a canvas size. From here, you can always press home. That gets you to this page. You can design anything. This is, your typical area for searching. Their search features are really convenient as far as pulling up so many options. And then they have a lot of templates. You'll see create a design. These are just some featured ones right now. But it shows you okay, there's a video, presentation, flyer, card. It's essentially the same thing that we just looked at with create a design. But in a visual sense, so you can actually see what you would be getting. And then I've got all your designs. So all your designs here on the left, and then your designs here, you can say see all. And then that brings you to everything you've created. Go back to home. And then you got flyers, and that's going to let you see all again at the top, at the top right of that section, or you can skim through them. And then we've got Instagram posts, Facebook posts, posters, social media. So that goes on and on and on. Infographics are a lot of fun too. So those are options that you can use if you like templates. But you can also actually go to templates, which is here on the left-hand side. And when you're in templates, it's going to show you so many of the same things that we just saw, but in more detail. And you can see all, press see all on any of the categories, browse by category. So they've got a ton of templates that you can use to make things really, really easy. And a lot of these templates have elements in them that you can use for free. Photos, these are photos that they provide. So you can search for photos, but something to keep in mind is that not all of these are free. You'll know just by hovering and see this, it says free on the bottom right. So hover over a picture, you'll see free on the bottom right. You can also favorite them to find them faster in the future. This one's free, but then you see this one's premium. So if you use a premium photo, then you're essentially paying for the license to use it, and it's going to, before you save your design, prompt you to purchase it. And I'm pretty sure, I know Elements, which we're going to get into, but they're basically icons and things like that. But those things are usually like $1. So you could do that without, I had just had a thought. These don't come with the pro membership either. Like you would still have to purchase the license. So I have a trick for finding all the elements for free, which we'll get into, so that you can just have your search results only show up with what would be free, so that you don't have to worry about hovering and finding out. But as you can see, most of these I'm hovering over are free. So there's so many options that you can use. I'm going to go down to, I showed you brand kit, and then you can create a team to work with. But yeah, so going back to home, I'm just going to open a canvas and show you where we can go from there. So create a design. I know that I let's just say I want to do a Pinterest pin. So I could put in 1,000 by 1,500, or I could go in and just press Pinterest. So you can see that I've put in those dimensions, and then here you can see all these templates that come with those dimensions, like with the Pinterest one, since I pressed Pinterest. So it is trying to think smartly for you to make this really easy. But you can also start from scratch, and a lot of times I like to do that just because I feel like I've heard a lot of people say, we're so used to the overuse of Canva templates. That being said, Canva templates have certainly increased their selection, so it's not always obvious anymore when it is Canva, but back in the day, it was very obvious that you were using a Canva template. They've certainly upped their game, though, like I said. So what I like to start with is elements. So you can see elements here on the left-hand side. And in Elements, they'll have like what's trending here. So it's International Women's Day was most recent, but then you have grids. The grids, and you can say see all. Anything with this graphic scene of a cloud and grass and a sky is for pictures. So let's say I want to do this grid, and it's going to fit to canvas, and you can adjust this, but as soon as you press one, it will always fit to your canvas. So this is going to allow me to put 2 photos in. It's pretty simple, and I would just drag and drop. You can upload your own photos, and you will find that under Uploads right here. So I'm going to delete that by just pressing delete, and I'll go over all of the shortcuts with you as well. But let's say I didn't know the shortcut. I can just go up to this icon right here and say delete. So you'll see that there are a ton of grids to add photos. So that makes it really easy. The other part of Elements that I use a lot are shapes, and I use this square a lot. You can adjust it to make it a rectangle, widen it, so it makes it one of the best, I think, graphics to go over, elements to go over photos to make text stand out and things like that. You also have frames, so instead of grids where they're all, rectangles or squares, they give you an option to make photos look really cool. So like this one would break one up. So let's just use this, and then I'll drag and drop a photo in there so that you can see what that might look like. So see how it just makes it really fun and different. So that is something that you can try. Also, when I have a frame in here and an image, if I go to my trash can up in the top right, I can say delete image or delete frame. If I delete the frame, it deletes both of them. If I delete the image, then it keeps my frame so I can drag and drop another photo in. So that's nice. Another thing, like they have these sans serif letters. So you can go in, let's say you want to do a word, let's say it says love or something, and then you can go back to Elements and search. You can search for anything that you want. So I'm going to say foil. Let's say you have your own foil that you drag in, or here's this glitter that's kind of fun. So a lot of these are premium, but I'm just going to show you so that you can see. I guess it doesn't want to. Oh no, it doesn't want to work like that. Just kidding. Let's say you have a foil something. I don't have a foil one, but that's fine. We'll just pretend that this is foil, this one. So I drag that into the A, and then it actually frames my photo inside the A. So that's pretty fun. And then let's see what else I can show you here. So there's like stickers and icons, gradients, lines are awesome. So oftentimes I just search lines, and you'll see there are arrows and there are like line art graphics like this, and you'll see as you hover over these what's free, what's premium. Going back to Elements, you'll see these little, like basically clip art, but they're so many, like organic rainbows. They have all these rainbows that you can play with. Another thing that I like about, especially with shapes and with icons, let's say I want to look up like a computer icon. Okay, so now I've got these ones which are really versatile, and I like to use these for like let's say I want to put an image behind here, but what I like is that all these icons can be color, like the color can be changed. Not all of them, but many of them, especially if they're solid like this. So I go up to the top left of my workspace into the colors, and I can see the document colors. This is really handy so that you don't have to keep using eyedropper. So anything that you have as far as color on your canvas will show up under document colors, which is really, I can't tell you, I just love that so much. It's basically your color history, but it's not going to show you the ones that you didn't end up using. It's just showing you what's already in existence to make matching really easy. You'll see my brand colors here. I showed you that earlier, and I can't use them. So if I press it, okay, I'm confused because when I was doing this yesterday, if I pressed one of my brand colors, it didn't show up. Okay, well, disregard. Sometimes they show up, I guess. Okay, here we go. Canva Pro is the upgrade it's showing me. See, I'm not crazy. Okay. Anyway, you can use the default colors. You can also go to new color and actually, drag this around, see what color you like best, or you can enter a hex code. So let's just go to the classic white. I guess that doesn't make sense because you can't see it, but all zeros would make black. So you can pick your own hex code like that, which is handy if you have that on hand to pick, like, let's say you want to match your brand color. So that's how you would do that. Going back to elements, so essentially everything's in there, but shapes is what I use the most of, and then little graphics, like let's say I want to find an arrow. I can just type an arrow, enter, and then you'll see a bunch of arrows that pop up. All right, so then when we go to text, you can add a heading, add a subheading, and then add, like it says, add a little bit of text, but clicking that will just add it already, and then you can adjust your font right here on the top, and then you can adjust the size, you can adjust the color, you can adjust, this will make it uppercase, so you don't have to worry about typing in all caps. You can just type normally and then decide later, like, do I want this in all caps or do I like it like, normal, which is nice. You can also create bullet points for a list, and then spacing is one of my absolute favorite things about the customization you can do with fonts. So let's say I have it all in caps, but I want this to be spread out to look a little more modern. I can go to letter spacing and just drag this up, and it just creates this really easy situation. But if I have, let's say I have this on 2 lines, I can also change the spacing so that the line height changes, and I can go up and down from there. And then one of the other things that I like about this is, let's say I have it aligned to the left. I can have it, like, let's say my box is longer than this, and I have a whole bunch of text, or I have it and I want it to match an element. I can click this button to align left, center, or right, also making it a lot easier as your workflow goes. The other thing I like about text is that I can use these presets that will allow me to just change the text. So it has these pairings already. I can just click this and then change the pairing. So what you'll also notice about this is that they're in groups. So if I click it, I can drag it and it will only affect, or it'll affect both pieces, so that I don't have to move them individually, which is really convenient. I can also go in and edit only one part of it. So I can say text, and I can say, or like, let's say hello. So that's nice too, but let's say I want to ungroup it and move it, I can always ungroup it. So let's say I've done this myself. I haven't actually put in one of these presets, and I line it up the way that I want it to. Alignment's nice because it'll show you how centered I am with these pink dashed lines. So I can make sure that it's nice and centered. Or if I want to center it to the whole page, then it'll show me these solid lines to show me how centered I am, which is also, it's just really convenient. So to select them both, I'm going to press or select one box, and then I'm going to shift and select the other one. What I can also do though is just click and drag, and then it will select both. And then I go up to group, press group, and then they will move together. So that's a nice feature of the font. I can also duplicate any element at any point by pressing duplicate. And then I have that same, anything that I selected, I have the same version again. So this is helpful when you want to like create equal rectangles of the same color, or equal frames of the same width and height for photos and things like that. Okay, so now as you go down, you'll see so many options, but I'm also going to give you my favorites as far as fonts go, and I have a download for you to do that as well. Backgrounds, they've got preset backgrounds. A lot of them are free. So let's say you want to put in this pretty gradient and then put text over that. You can do that. I've never used this, but it could be helpful for you. But then uploads are the things that you've personally uploaded from your computer that you can then use. So you don't have to drag and drop a picture into a frame. You can also just do the picture. The difference here is that it's going to put the whole picture in, so it won't crop to a frame. However, just by double clicking, you have the option to then crop it where you want it to go. So let's say you want the crop to be right here, but then you can also see the four corners. You can move the photo within that crop. So that's another option that you can do. And you can also press crop, but double clicking will do the same thing. You can apply filters. They have some filters in here. I've never used them, but you can go through and see if you like any of those. They have effects, so like, duotone. I've actually never used any of this, but they do have options for it. Flip is nice because you can flip things horizontally or vertically if you need to, for whatever reason. So, okay, I know that was a lot, but I wanted to give you kind of a rundown of how everything works, and now we can get into actually designing.